Hi, this is the 1000 Scenes Project. I'm Morgan, and improviser number 884 of 1000 is Pedro George. Hey, Pedro.
Hey Morgan, how you doing?
Doing well. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, no worries. It's my pleasure. Let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun. Our randomly generated suggestion is editing. 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 This is an amazing first novel. It really is. Congratulations.
Thanks. What'd you think of what'd you think of the first chapter? That was really my that's the chapter that I'm having more issues with. What'd you think of that?
I actually thought that the first chapter was fantastic, which is a good thing because actually the first chapter was all I read. So it's an amazing novel, though it really is.
Wait a minute, you didn't read the rest?
Oh, it's fairly standard in the publishing industry. You read the first chapter, it gives you a sense of the whole book, and then you just sort of skim through the rest. But we're very interested in publishing it. It's just such a rich. You clearly poured so much of yourself into this, and it's just such a sweeping narrative. And that first chapter is just it's great. So.
All right. Is there anything? Well, it's a little weird for me that you haven't read the whole book. That's a little weird. But is there anything? Well, since you only read the first one. You only read the first one. What are you gonna do?
Well, again, you're making it sound like this is something unusual I'm doing. It's honestly standard practice, and actually for readers these days as well. Surveys show that typical readers of modern American fiction don't read past the first or second chapter.
Well, why did I write the rest of the book then?
Well, that's more a question for yourself than for me. I suppose because you had some sort of artistic vision that you wanted to express, or I'm more in the behind the scenes. I'm not so much the artistic.
You told me to write 20 chapters.
Oh yeah, no, it's kind of appeared to be like a real novel. You got to make people feel good about reading it. Like, I just picked up a really heavy book and I'm reading it. I'm carrying it around with me. People see me with it, but they're really just going to read the first chapter, maybe 2 chapters.
Is there anything that you think should be cut from the first chapter then?
I'm glad that you got to that.
Oh, jeez.
It's just a minor thing. I hope it's not a deal breaker. What you provided when you gave us the manuscript, you provided a page that made note of all of the chapters, numbered chapters, and then a little title for each chapter. So it sort of spoils the fact, or like it really emphasizes the fact that there are more chapters in the first chapter and the second chapter, and so it's like, I feel like it might be a little overwhelming to people to be like, do they open up the book and it's got the title and then publisher's information, and then they see this page where it's like, oh, there's all these chapters. I'm not sure I want to read this at all. So yeah, if you could get rid of that, is that on the? Would you consider that?
So you want me to cut the index page, the first page in the book?
The index page, and we can get rid of that, so the people, even on some level, feel like they have read the whole book when they read the first chapter. Maybe.
All right, fine. Yeah, toss it then. Anything else?
Well, I actually have some good news. We've actually had some interest from Hollywood on potentially doing a movie deal. So, and they've only read the first 2 sentences of the first chapter, but they are very, very excited about the possibilities. It's a very visual couple of sentences. So,
but is the movie going to be about the whole book or just the first chapter? I mean,
the Hollywood version of the whole book. So the first, really emphasize the first couple of sentences of the first chapter, and then obviously it'll draw from the entire rest of the first chapter as well if they need to, fill in some of the. But movies are like guy meets girl, guy loses girl, plane crash.
All right, I'm fine with that. I only have a couple of rules.
Absolutely. Everybody gets 1 rule each, if that's okay. Blackout. Thank you very much, Pedro.
No worries, man. That was cool. That was cool.
Is there anything I can plug for you in the description of the video?
Yeah, I'm part of this community for photographers. That's actually how I met you, because one of my buddies in the community did a scene with you, Elaine Zelker.
Oh, great.
And I would like to plug that. It's called the Headshot Crew. It's headshotcrew.com. And if you're a photographer and if you like photography, or if you need a headshot, go to that website and we'll hook you up.
Excellent. Well, I'll put a link to that in the video description. Thanks again for doing that. Have a great day.
No worries. It was cool. It was fun. I'm sorry I can't do it more often.
Oh yeah, well, that's the internet. It's pretty easy to do internet scenes these days. Thank you for doing your contribution to this project, though. But anytime you can trick somebody into doing an improv scene with you, it's relatively easy technologically now. So I highly recommend it.
Cool.
Thank you very much. Take care.
No worries. Bye.
Bye bye.